Seeds of Peace was founded in 1993 by a journalist, a man named John Wallach. And John, like I said, was a journalist in the Middle East and grew very disheartened by the fact that such hatred existed between Israelis and Palestinians, yet they had so little contact with one another. And the conclusions they were drawing were based only on what they heard or read or were surrounded by. And meanwhile, John's son was at summer camp, and he was blown away by the friendships that his son would form in such a short period of time in this intense environment known as summer camp. So this was John's vision to get strategic about who got to have this summer camp experience. He challenged the Israeli, Palestinian, and Egyptian ambassadors to the States to each send him 15 kids that summer. And they did. And so we had our start in 1993 with 46 boys of those 3 delegations. And it was John's dream to give them an opportunity to see each other face to face, to draw their own conclusions, to live together, to talk about the issues that were between them, and to form their own direct relationships. Seeds of Peace exists to humanize the enemy, to provide opportunities for direct relationships, friendships, communication, and trust built out of a very supportive environment that is not only fun and beautiful, but also is complete with the real dialogue of discussing and working through painful and difficult issues that plague these kids and these regions. This summer, our kids were Israelis, Palestinians, Egyptians, Jordanians, Indians, Pakistanis, and Afghans, as well as a group of American youth. And despite the very difficult political and financial, but political times plaguing all of those countries that I just listed, to see their commitment and their willingness to dig deep and do the work and participate in conversations that are not easy, was particularly inspiring to know that the human side of each one of them and in what we do still prevailed. We've had now over 4,000 campers come and participate in the camp experience, which we see as really an entry point to build from that experience with all the programs I just talked about. But assessing the impact of that goes much farther than those 4,000. Certainly those are the ones we're working with and that have a commitment to each other and to our organization, but it's almost impossible to count how they've impacted their families, their communities, their schools, and those around them, and how they've been able to share this experience with others, not in the same, perhaps not in the depth that they've experienced it themselves, but that they've been able to expose others around them to their relationships and to the new thoughts and new ways of thinking that they've taken part of. The graduates are all over the world. Certainly the younger ones, the ones that were at camp this summer and the few years before, are still, for the most part, in their home countries completing school. There's a group here in the States. There's a group in Dubai, but the majority of our graduates are still in their home countries and are completing their education and embarking on careers in their communities back at home. Even those that have traveled or have pursued business opportunities, career opportunities, or educational opportunities away from home, they are connected as best that we can to Seeds through their home delegation, through their home country. But the bonus has been the ability to connect with others outside their delegation, or even outside kids that they might not have actually been at camp with at the same time. It's been a bonus for us to be able to create communities of Seeds in new places around the world, and for them to be able to develop a network amongst themselves.